When I was designing shows for theater, I would go to the thrift store because, as you know, most theater companies don't have any money, and they don't pay the costume designers hardly anything. And so I would ask for donations from people that were in the productions, and I would go through those clothes as well as going to the thrift store. So that was kind of my regular, way of learning about thrift stores, I guess you could say, because I didn't grow up going to thrift stores. I actually, in the book, it actually says the first time I went, I was all of 14 years old, when I went, and my aunt used to go, and I was just in awe. I remember, of seeing so many clothes, and clothes from all different eras, which I thought was really exciting to me as a fashion design student. So for me, I was learning about the history of clothes because you could get antique clothes up to, everything in between contemporary clothes, right? And learn about material, fabric and construction, and all these other things. So it was really interesting for me to do that. So the other thing I actually want to start with was this, because this is kind of sort of one of the highlights of my career as far as being able to design costumes for a feature film. And you might recognize these ladies on here. One's Louise Fletcher, and the other one is Cicely Tyson. And Louise, of course, is an Academy Award-winning actress. And Cicely Tyson was actually nominated for an Academy Award. So a friend of mine knows me as a costume designer, so she put me in touch, and I ended up designing costumes. And as usual, like a lot of independent film companies, everyone's always trying to cut down. Even if they have money, they don't want to spend money on clothes. Are you kidding? Even if it's for movie stars. So they hired me, and I had a budget, and that was including my salary. So I had a huge incentive on how to cut down on costs for designing costumes for the movie. So it just so happened that Miss Tyson, and I'll pass this around so you can look at it. She was the exact same height as me, the exact same shoe size even. And so it was so funny because she was supposed to be, the character in the movie, she was supposed to be like a dancer. So she wore really, theatrical clothes. And so she ended up literally wearing clothes from my closet in the movie. And so if you rent that movie, you can actually rent this movie on Netflix and see it if you just want to see the costumes. So I did all the costumes, and most of them are from the thrift store. And after the film was completed, Louise, she's a big, tall woman. Louise is actually like 5'10" and wears like, she wears like a large or extra large in a woman's size. And it was kind of hard to find clothes for her, honestly, because she's so tall and big. And so anyway, she liked her clothes so much that she offered to buy them from me. Well, I was embarrassed to tell her at first, that I had bought them all at the thrift store, and then so I finally just said, oh, you can keep them, and that for me, obviously, that was a huge compliment. And because she liked the clothes, she felt that those were her style that she liked, so she kept them. And then Miss Tyson actually, she's more glamorous type of person, and she liked her clothes as well. As a matter of fact, one of the outfits that she wears, she dyes in the film. She was wearing it was a pale pink silk satin gown in one of the movies, or she actually dies in this scene, and so she's lying on the bed, and she wanted to look glamorous for that scene. So she picked this out. It was pink silk satin slinky gown, and then it had a matching chiffon, what do you call it, coat. over it. And so that's what she wore. So after the filming was over, she asked if she could keep that, because she actually has a museum in Harlem where she keeps, and I've never been to it. I can't even find anything online about it. But anyway, this is what she told me. And she keeps, from every movie that she's ever done, she keeps a costume from every single movie.